shall we take the national anthem? 1, 2, go.
Arise, O compatriot.
The national anthem kickstarts the meeting at the Oval Room of the Presidential Villa. Settling down, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, commences with a brief introduction of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission for just allocations of resources in the country.
Your Excellency may wish to note that in undertaking this assignment, the Commission followed due process and carried out due diligence by considering both primary and secondary data, assigned responsibilities to the 3 tiers of government in line with the relevant sections of the Constitution, held consultations across all geopolitical zones, and sought the opinion of the federal government before finalizing this report.
The presentation this year is significant, having been done last in 1992, falling short of its recommendation for it to be held every 5 years. The SGF will give a preamble to the presentation of the report of the reviewed vertical revenue allocation formula.
The submission of this report today, Mr. President, aligns with your avowed commitment to ensure that basic fundamentals are strengthened for equitable and just allocation of resources to all tiers of government for sustainable development in our country. Your Excellency, permit me to inform you that the report being presented today is in 4 volumes, with a main report that summarizes them. Volume 1 contains the various memoranda submitted by the federal and state governments, as well as the Federal Capital Territory, while Volume 2 details the presentation for the academia, civil society, professional bodies, traditional rulers, individuals, as well as women and youth councils. To complete the inclusiveness of the stakeholder participatory processes adopted, Volume 3 is a research that captures the body of knowledge that supported the review, while Volume 4 is a further distillation of submissions by the state and local governments, as well as non-governmental organizations and the area councils of the Federal Capital Territory.
A just allocation of resources to all tiers of government reverberates here, seen as a major milestone which this exercise, and indeed the Commission, seeks to achieve. The chairman of RMAFC, shortly after his presentation, immediately presents the document to President Buhari.
The Commission also considered the Supreme Court ruling of 5th April 2002 in suit number SC 28/2001, which did not actually fault the philosophy or concept of special fund aimed at tackling peculiar problems, as well as statutory responsibility that requires special attention as a common responsibility of the federating units. In this respect, the Commission therefore recommended the retention of special funds to take care of national and environmental disaster stabilization and sustainable development of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Furthermore, Your Excellency, in making the recommendations, the Commission, guided by relevant sections of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended on the provision of primary education, also recommended that funding of primary education, particularly the payment of primary school teachers' salaries and allowances, should be the responsibilities of the state government. Your Excellency, it is with high sense of responsibility that I wish to inform you that after the application of the above analysis and considerations, the following new vertical revenue allocation formula emerged. Thank you, sir, for listening, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
On receiving the document, the President makes it explicitly clear what gains will be derived from this.
I commend the Chairman and members of the Commission for their diligence in ensuring that the processes leading to this report was all-inclusive I also want to thank Nigerians, especially the state and local governments, for making their inputs through the broad stakeholder engagement processes that produce this report. Considering the changing dynamics of our political economy, such as privatization, deregulation, funding arrangement of primary education, primary health care, and growing clamor for decentralization, among others, it is necessary that we take another look at our revenue sharing formula, especially the vertical aspect that relates to the tiers of government. This becomes more compelling as we need to reduce our infrastructural deficit, make more resources available for tackling insecurity, confront climate change and its associated global warming, and make life more meaningful for our rapid growing population. As an advocate for grassroots development, I have always remained committed to ensuring that all tiers of government are treated fairly, equally, and justly in the sharing of national resources.
The President further warns that the practical application of the new vertical formula must not be with sentiment, but rather deliberate and calculated strategies to ensure it works. The specifics as they affect the various tiers of government was also clearly stated without mincing words.
All over the world, revenue and resource allocation have always been a function of the level of responsibilities attached to the different components or tiers of government. I am therefore happy to note that the discussions were held along these lines and rested squarely on roles and responsibilities as spelled out in the 1999 Constitution as amended. However, I also note that in searching the final decisions at most of these engagements, not much emphasis was placed on the fact that the second schedule of the Nigerian Constitution contains 68 items on the executive legislative list and the remaining 30 items on the concurrent list requiring both the federal and state government to address. It is thus very clear that for us to have a lasting review of the present revenue allocation formula, we must first agree on the responsibilities to be carried out by all the tiers of the government. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I particularly note that the proposal seeks a 3.3% reduction in the current federal government allocation, and on the other hand, an increase of 3.07% and 0.4% for the states and local governments on the other hand. With regards to the social funds, an increase of a 0.2% for the Federal Capital Territory and a decrease of 0.38% for development of natural resources are being proposed. As you are aware, the federal government also made its input into the process of reviewing the vertical revenue allocation formula based on existing constitutional provisions for roles and responsibilities for the different tiers of government. We must note the increasing visibility in subnational level responsibilities due to weaknesses at the level, for example, A, primary health care, B, basic primary education, and C, levels of insecurity, and D, increased remittances to state and local government through the value-added tax sharing formula, where the federal government has only 15% and the state and local government share 50% and 35% respectively. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The onus now lies with the Commission to ensure that it carries out its constitutional mandate in line with current realities in all areas, hinged on equity, justice, fairness, and especially in dealing with local governments that have been neglected for far too long. Yimba Umar, Control TV News.